You switched to diet soda. You bought the sugar-free yogurt. You swapped your morning sugar for a colored packet or drops of stevia, all to cut calories and allegedly to lose weight. But what if all that effort is actually making you hungrier? Artificial sweeteners are everywhere. Aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, stevia, monk fruit, xylitol. These sugar substitutes show up in everything from your favorite diet drinks to sugar-free protein bars, and even chewing gum and mints. They're marketed as the perfect solution for people trying to lose weight, manage blood sugar, or just reduce their sugar intake. The logic sounds bulletproof, right? Enjoy sweetness without the calories. But emerging research is raising serious questions because these zero-calorie sweeteners may be doing something unexpected, confusing your body, triggering cravings, and increasing your appetite. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about how your brain processes sweetness. When you eat sugar, your brain lights up. It recognizes that something sweet is coming in, and it prepares to reward you with a dopamine hit. That dopamine response plays a huge role in feelings of satisfaction. Your body says, sweet taste equals incoming energy. It's how we're wired to survive. The problem is that when you consume artificial sweeteners, your brain gets the sweet signal, but not the energy. There are no calories, no glucose, and no follow-through on that promise of fuel. And when the reward doesn't come, your brain gets a little frustrated. So it sends you looking for something else to satisfy that promise. That often means more cravings, more snacking, and ironically, more calories. In fact, animal studies have shown that rats given artificial sweetened foods gained more weight than those given real sugar. Why? Researchers believe it's because their brains and bodies were misled. When the expected calories didn't arrive, the rats compensated by eating more overall. That's not just theory. In humans, several studies have shown that people who consume diet beverages or use artificial sweeteners typically end up eating more throughout the day. And it's not just psychological. Studies are showing that it may also be biological. Artificial sweeteners can impact your gut microbiome, the community of trillions of bacteria in your digestive tract that affect everything from metabolism to immune function, often called our second brain. A landmark study published in the journal Nature found that artificial sweeteners like saccharin and sucralose actually altered the gut bacteria in mice. This change made them intolerant to glucose, a warning sign for future metabolic problems. When researchers transferred those altered microbes to healthy mice, those mice developed the same glucose intolerance. The implication? Sweeteners might not just pass through your system harmlessly. They may actually disrupt your metabolism, making it harder to regulate blood sugar and appetite. Some research also shows that certain sweeteners may stimulate insulin production even though they don't contain sugar. Insulin is the hormone your body uses to process and store sugar. When insulin is released without actual glucose to deal with, it can lead to a blood sugar drop, and that can trigger hunger. You feel like you need to eat something right away, even if you just ate. One study in the journal Diabetes Care found that sucralose caused insulin levels to rise by about 20% in some people. Think about that, just from that zero-calorie drink. The end result? You might feel hungry, tired, or even irritable afterward, and more likely to reach for a snack to feel normal again. And then there's the behavioral side of things. It's easy to justify eating more when you've chosen the diet option. Maybe you got the sugar-free latte, so you treat yourself to a muffin. Or maybe you opt for the low-calorie ice cream so you feel less guilty about going back for seconds. This kind of compensatory behavior is very well documented and very human. Even if you don't consciously think, I saved calories, now I can splurge, your body may still be subtly encouraging you to eat more. When your hunger and satiety signals are out of sync, it's easier to overeat without realizing it. Digging a little deeper, not everyone responds the same way. Some people report that artificial sweeteners help them cut calories and manage cravings, while others notice the opposite: more frequent hunger and stronger cravings. The reason isn't fully settled, but it's likely a mix of biology, psychology, and personal eating patterns. Genetics, gut bacteria, and your previous exposure to sweet flavors all shape how your body and brain react to these substances. Timing and context matter too. If you're replacing a balanced snack or meal with a zero-calorie beverage, your body still expects energy. If that expectation isn't met, you may end up even hungrier later, often without understanding why. There's also a conversation happening between your gut and your brain known as the gut-brain axis. It's responsible for regulating appetite through hormones like GLP-1, PYY, and ghrelin. Some research suggests artificial sweeteners may alter the release of these hormones, which can make it harder for your body to signal when you're full, or may cause you to feel hungry even when you shouldn't be. And again, the gut microbiome plays a key role. That same Nature study we mentioned earlier showed that when altered gut bacteria from sweetener-fed mice were transferred to healthy mice, those healthy mice developed similar glucose regulation issues. While human studies are more mixed, the fact that sweeteners can shift the microbiome and potentially disrupt hunger and metabolic regulation is an area of growing concern. Now let's talk differences between sweeteners. Not all are created equal. Sugar alcohols like xylitol, erythritol, and sorbitol are often found in gum, mints, and sugar-free snacks. These aren't calorie-free, and they can cause bloating or digestive upset in some people. That discomfort may in turn affect hunger and how you feel after eating. Even among non-nutritive sweeteners, there's variability. Some studies show that sucralose can trigger insulin in certain individuals, while others show that stevia or monk fruit may have minimal impact on blood sugar or hunger. The point? Your response is individual. It may take some experimenting to figure out which, if any, sweeteners work for you. And the format matters. Liquid sweeteners in diet sodas or flavored waters may fail to create the same feeling of fullness that solid food does. That could lead to drinking something sweet and still reaching for food, unaware that your appetite hasn't been satisfied. So what can you do with all of this? First, track how you feel. If you notice more cravings, energy crashes, or justified indulgences after sweeteners, it's a clue that your body may not be responding well. Second, use sweet flavors strategically. Instead of making sweetness the focus of every snack or drink, treat it as a side note. Pair sweet items with protein, fiber, and fat to improve fullness and slow blood sugar spikes. Third, stick to less processed foods whenever possible. You don't need to avoid sweetness altogether, but choosing whole fruit, unsweetened yogurt with berries, or cinnamon and vanilla over artificial sweetened alternatives can support better appetite regulation. You might even consider doing a 2-week personal trial. Track your sweetener intake, hunger, mood, and energy levels. Compare days with and without sweeteners. You may spot patterns that help you make informed decisions based on your unique body. A few more simple strategies. Start meals with protein and fiber to stay full longer. Add healthy fats to improve satiety and balance blood sugar. Drink plenty of water. Thirst is often mistaken for hunger. Practice mindful tasting. If you reach for something sweet, pause between bites and ask yourself whether it's true hunger or just a craving. In short, artificial sweeteners aren't universally bad, but they can be disruptive. For some, they're a helpful tool. For others, they make hunger worse, trigger cravings, or throw off metabolic rhythms. The key is awareness. Recognize your own patterns. Don't let sweeteners hijack your appetite. Use them sparingly and don't rely on them to solve a problem they might actually be contributing to. So next time you reach for that diet soda or sugar-free snack, ask yourself, is this helping me or leading me down a path of sweet things that make me want more sweet things? If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to Modern Wellness Lab for more myth-busting, science-backed wellness content. And tell us in the comments, how do artificial sweeteners affect you? This video is for informational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your health, diet, or lifestyle. Modern Wellness Lab is not responsible for decisions made based on this content.